Very good to be here. Before we start, since I have not been too much to the conference, I was at one of the events on Monday. If you are somebody who English is a primary language for you, please raise your hand. English? Si prefiere español, si habla español primeramente, lave las manos. Okay, we're going to primarily speak English, pero tratar un poquito de español también. So I'll mostly in English, and a few things, if I get excited, will be in Spanish. So it's great to be here. This is a very exciting conference. I have been coming to the Mobile World Congress for many years, since it just came to Barcelona, even before that when it was in Cannes, France. But this is my first time at 4 years from now, so it's very exciting to be here. What I want to talk about is the incredible changes that are happening in photos and video, and how it's transformed the whole world of how we record and communicate about our lives. And of course, the foundation for everything at Mobile World Congress is the incredible growth in digital devices that are smartphones. It crossed 1 billion last year, or 2013, well over 1 billion this year, now 1.5 billion. And it's on a path to continue to grow incredibly rapidly. And that amazing growth in digital devices has created a fundamental sea change in many areas, but I'm going to talk about personal photos and videos as the foundation of that change, that side of media. If you look at the history of photography, the first year where there were 1 billion photos taken was 1930s by this estimate. And it grew significantly, but slowly. These are by decades. So you saw a very continuous increase in photography, but then in the year of the smartphone, there's been a massive explosion. So this year will be the first year where 1 trillion photos will be taken, which, if you think about that, so we are a planet, let's say, with about 7 billion people on it. So that means that for every person on the planet, there will be about 150 pictures taken this year. It's an incredible thing to think about, 1 trillion photos being taken this year, photos and videos. This is an amazing, never before in our species history has there been a situation where there's been that much opportunity to document and communicate visually what we as a species are doing around the world. It's unbelievable, the transformation that's happened associated with this. And if you look at how people communicate, you just go back 10 years and what people were doing in a famous place like St. Peter's Square. This would be true in any place in the world. We're now getting to the point where nearly 2 billion photos a day are being taken and shared, and it will cross that level later this year. And they're being shared in all these different ways. So it's an amazing thing, and for those of you, like most in this room, who grew up in this world, you might take it for granted that this is the way it is, but I wanted to put it in history just to show how rapid this changes just really over the last 5 years, and how the change is continuing to happen very, very quickly. Well, when you talk to people about how they feel about this, they're happy and they're also sad. On the one hand, they're very happy because even though there's so many pictures being taken, over 90% of consumers don't think they're taking too many pictures. They feel like it's good that there's so many pictures. And about 3/4 of people want to share this video, these photos that they're taking. They want to share this content. And about half people know that they're storing this content in multiple places. So this is where you start to get from the people are excited about it to people are nervous. When you say to people, 77% or 3/4 of consumers say that their content is disorganized. They're creating so much of it, but where is it going? It's on their phone, it's on their tablet, maybe they put it up in a cloud, maybe it's on a hard disk somewhere, but it's probably in multiple places and it's disorganized. Then people describe that there's problems with compatibility, not so much for photos, but for videos, because videos oftentimes, when you try them in one place, they won't play very well in another place. So there are real technical problems with people getting the most out of this medium and this experience. And then about a quarter of people say they don't even know where their photos and videos are. And if the photos and videos are not important to you, that's not a big deal. But if it's the photos of your children, of your friends, of the important things that you're doing in your life, that's like losing your wallet, or it's like losing your phone maybe even, in terms of the impact that it has. And there's that many people that have that much nervousness about it. So these are surveys just in the last year or so that people have these very, very big concerns. So we determined, and I say we in this case is Real Networks, the company that I started 20 years ago and that I came back to reinvent, in effect, about 2 years ago, that we wanted to focus on this problem and see if we could make a contribution, perhaps even as big as the contribution that we made when we invented internet streaming 20 years ago. It's a big goal, but that was our goal. So we looked at a set of problems that we thought were important to solve. One, something that helps people organize their photos and videos in a logical way. One of the great things about smartphones is, by default, every photo that's taken has a time and date stamp and a geo stamp. So the photo comes with information that can be used to organize it. Additionally, there's all kinds of other ways to figure out what the metadata is, the information associated with that picture, that can be used to group it in an intelligent way. But there are very few applications that take full advantage of that. We also then want to make it, building on that, make it easy for people to find the photos and videos that they want and they need that are about a particular life experience or life chapter. We want to make it easy for people to store these, to find these photos that are stored in different devices. Maybe something's on your current phone. Maybe there's some great pictures on the phone you had 2 years ago. Maybe it's, you've got pictures on your PC, maybe your tablet. And so you've got this content all over the place that it's really very important to come up with a way to connect all that different content. Then you create all these photos and videos, but what you really want isn't just to show the photos or the videos, but oftentimes you want a way to tell the story that connects all those pieces together. Then once you've created these stories, you want a very easy way to share these stories with the people that are important to you, with your friends, with your family, and maybe sometimes with the public, with the world, if it's a story you think that is very interesting to share that way. Then, okay, you've done all that. Some of the stuff you want it to be around for a long time. I think of it from the standpoint of my small children. I have twins who are 8 and a little one who's 4, and I look at those digital memories and I want to keep them not just when they're little, but their whole lives, so that I can embarrass them when they graduate from high school or many years from now at their weddings with what silly things they were doing when they were 4 and 8 years old. So to have that ability to bring those memories along with you for the rest of your life and not just have them go away if you lose your phone or if your file server crashes, that's very, very important too. And then finally, we think there's important to have a solution that does all these things automatically, even automagically, we say, and easily. Because if this is too much work, we already know what people say. There's too much content there, it's hard to find, it's hard to organize it, so it has to be really easy. It has to sort of just work the way that your phone just works. You know, all these pictures, people wouldn't take these pictures if when you picked out your phone, you had to fumble through in 50 settings. What people are used to is you pick up your camera phone, you point it, and you shoot. We need a similar approach to the organization and sharing problem. Well, we think we have solved that problem. It's something we've been working on for about 2 years now. We had a product we came out with a little over a year ago called Real Player Cloud, which was a very successful product that laid the foundation for what we're going to be coming out with in just a couple of months. And what I want to do now is tell you a teeny bit about where we're going and then show you kind of a sneak peek video of what kind of solution we think we will be able to create. So the new product that we are going to come out with later this year will be called Real Times. And it's a brand new product building on the legacy of many years of work and innovation, but focused on all of people's personal video, all your personal photos, all your personal video from any device. And to make it really easy and automatic to share that. So rather than me doing a product demo in the small time here, I thought I would show you a little video of how that works. And so, Johan, if we can start the video. So anyway, that's a very hopefully exciting and ambitious idea for where we'll be going. So if you want to have a chance to experience that, we have a invitation beta program that we have just put up. If you go to beta.real.com, you can sign. There's two places. On the top it says if you already have your invitation, where to sign in. And on the bottom it says if you would like to get an invitation to put your email address in. So you can do that. The current beta is only in English. We obviously, when we come to the market, we will be in many languages, but hopefully for everyone who's hearing this, that's okay. And if you do try it, we'd love your feedback. We're still putting finishing touches on the product, but we're very excited about it, and based on the initial feedback we're getting, people are very excited about it because this is a problem that when we talk to people, everybody has. And there's solutions for a little piece of it or that piece of it, but we don't know of anybody that has worked on creating a comprehensive solution that is fun, automatic, and easy to use. And that's the promise we think that we are working on with Real Times, and hopefully you will look back and you will have watched this speech and thought, that sounds interesting, I never heard of that. And you will be one of the pioneers who will help us make this experience even better. And then when we bring it to market, you can tell all your friends and family about it too. So with that, muchas gracias. Thank you very much. I think we have about 10 minutes for questions. So if anybody wants to ask questions about Real Times or anything else, I'm happy to answer questions. Muchas gracias. ¿Preguntas español o inglés? Inglés es mejor por mí, pero puedo tratar en español. Sí. Yes.
Hello, Tobias, the CEO of Crowd Mobile, and I was interested in monetization models for video players. I mean, since I've grown up in the internet, I think I've never paid a single cent for any player, even though the Real Player was one of those annoying players back then that I think you guys had this partnership with Microsoft, so it was kind of like pre-installed, and it was very difficult to get away from that. But I would be curious to know what kind of monetization models you see for the future of video streaming players besides maybe using advertising. Will people ever be willing to pay for a video player?
Well, Real Times will be a free product, so there will be a great free version of it, and there will also be premium opportunities. And until we release the product, it will be hard to describe all the ways that it'll be premium, but you can imagine a few things. One, of course, is that if you want to store all your digital memories permanently, there will be a basic amount of storage that's useful, and if you want to store everything forever, you'll pay a little money for that. One way would be that we will have some basic features that are free and will be free forever, but there will be some premium features. If you look at the experience with games, for instance, the incredible success of games like Candy Crush and Clash of Clans, where you can play them for a long time for free, but if you want to have a better experience, you want to play better, people pay for various things, and those businesses have turned out to be great businesses. So that so-called gamification, we think, has a lot of promise in ways to create ways to encourage people to use products, tell their friends about it, and maybe some of your most active users never pay you anything, but then they evangelize the product to all of their friends and family so that those people, some of them would actually end up being paying. So I think our market, we guess that people that are in their student years and maybe just after university who have more time than money probably will pay less, and people like me who have families and who place a lot of value on keeping those family memories might pay a little more. So that's kind of the balance, but we'll learn. Our first mission is to make a great product. Our second mission is to get the product out there into the hands of tens of millions and then hundreds of millions of people, and then we are confident if we can do that, we can build a business. The question you asked about advertising is not in our short to midterm plans. It's certainly possible that if we build a business that has hundreds of millions of active users, like a business, if you think about something like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or these businesses that have millions of users, they've certainly learned that you can do marketing and advertising around that in a way that that the consumers don't mind and that creates a very significant amount of revenue. But for us, that's not the primary thing we're focused on, and it's probably not even something we'll think about until we get to like 50 or 100 million users. More questions? ¿Más preguntas? Yes.
All right, so you mentioned perpetuity and storing photos forever, and that's where sort of the rubber hits the road, I guess. I kind of trust that Google will never delete the photos that I upload to Google, but will you keep my stuff forever? Really? Won't you squeeze me at some point?
Well, because we are a company that has been around for 20 years, I think that's actually one of our advantages compared to startups. Some startups are great companies that last for a long time, but most startups either don't last or they get folded into something else. So I think our staying power as kind of an internet pioneer that has a scale to us is actually one of our advantages. Now, in terms of who do you trust more, do people trust Google? Do people trust Facebook? Do people trust Apple? Do people trust Microsoft? There are different ideas around this. Clearly, anything that we do in this area, if we make a long-term commitment to consumers, we will absolutely honor that. We also are going to make sure that the way our product works is, as we would say in English, it's not a roach motel. So if we create a set of places for you to store your memories, and you want to take them off of that to move it to something else, we certainly would support that. And then finally, we're not a storage company. Our current Real Player Cloud uses Amazon Web Services, which is a very reliable infrastructure. We've got points of presence in multiple parts of the world based on the AWS architecture. We're talking to a number of other partners about using their infrastructure. So we intend to, if somebody, for instance, they love G Drive and all their photos are on G Drive, we would be very happy to integrate with their APIs and actually have that be the place where the storage goes. So in the long term, you should think of real-times as a consumer service that seamlessly integrates with storage. In order to deliver a great experience at launch, we've had to take all that responsibility ourselves. But over a 5-year period, I'm guessing that most of the people who use our product will use it with additional storage, either as the only way they use it or jointly with some of our storage, because there are so many big, great companies building permanent storage infrastructure, we don't think we need to be in that business. There's a question right over here, I think. Yes? Yes, please. A microphone.
Well, what we saw in the video and the product seemed to be primarily oriented towards mobile photographs, so that you have the instant photograph and the instant integration, all of that. And I'm wondering how you're catering to the community of people who were photographers before the whole mobile boom, who are still interested in working with other types of cameras and integrating those photos into their projects.
Yes, digital cameras are a super important part of the ecosystem of photography, and we plan to support them. I do want to sort of say that this is a product that is not primarily designed for professional photographers, although we think professional photographers will use it. It's designed for everybody. So certainly anybody has digital cameras and takes their memory card out of the camera, or if you've got a camera that has Wi-Fi in it and uploads those videos, we support those. We'll have an API that allows for any camera that has direct connectivity to connect up directly with real times. So from a technical standpoint, we support currently about 12 different devices directly with Real Player Cloud clients that will become real times clients. But our target is consumers, including probably very people that care deeply about photography, but we're not trying to solve the problem just for professional photographers. If we make a product that professional photographers love, that's great, and we want to do a good job there. but we want average consumers to say, this is great, I can just push a couple buttons and get a great experience without having to really understand all the different aspects of photo imaging. So, any last questions? I see a hand in the middle here, okay.
Hi. How are you planning on driving downloads of this app?
How are we planning on driving downloads of this app? I would say 3 ways. First and foremost, by making a great product that people love and that has the natural viral loops associated with experience. Second, because we have the PC Real Player, and now with the Real Player Cloud having 10 million users, we have an installed base that we can engage with this product and get them involved with. And then third, we're in active discussions with major partners around the world who, when we talk to people, and this goes to the question about clouds a little bit, there's a lot of people that have been trying to solve pieces of this, like for instance the storage piece, and they are interested in something that creates an end user experience that takes that storage and brings it to life. So I'm hoping that when we launch Real Times, we'll also have some good partnerships that can help us on the distribution front as we integrate with what they do. But that's all to come in the months ahead. So I guess we may have time for 1 or 2 more questions if there's any. Any hands? Did I miss anybody? All right. Well, muchas gracias. Thank you all very much. It's an honor to be here, and good luck with the rest of the conference. Thank you very much.